So the kids and I really enjoy playing with makeup together and buying makeup for each other. And this year, the kids decided to explore Rihanna's makeup line called Fenty Beauty. And it's great. Like the doe foot on the lip stain applicator is the most amazing doe foot I've ever seen in my life. Like for sure. Um, this is the color that Soap and Clay Kidlet number 2 selected for me. And I am feeling it. Feeling those goth vibes like nobody's business. Like I can absolutely pull this off. And so thank you so much, Soap and Clay Kidlet number 2, for the amazing purchase and selection. And I'm so happy that you thought of me. I mean, the color is called like Undefeated. And so that's cool. Maybe she read the thing and went, oh yeah, it's Mom. I love it. So everybody tell Scout what a good job she did selecting Mommy's makeup in the comments below. And I'm not at all uncomfortable being on camera with this bold of a lip. Nope, I'm just going to own it for sure. And I'm going to send you to the intro, and I will tell you what we are doing in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 210 of 365 days of soap, and today we're making the Tyler Durden. And we're making it because, well, I have to be stocking up for 2022 because I'm completely out of stock on the Tyler Durden, and so I had to make thousands of bars, and so I decided to show you, a few of them. That's all. But I also wanted to talk about this swirl thing that I do without dividers. And I've talked about it before in year 1, but it's been a while since we've done that. And so maybe we wanted a refresher on how to make cool mantra swirls or Taiwan swirls or lotus blossom swirls. It's all kind of different names for the same thing without using dividers inside of a log mold. So that's what we're going to do today. And actually, the lip color totally fits the Tyler Durden bar because the dualities of like dark and light and all the things. Also, Helena Bonham Carter was in that movie, right? It's great. This is all coming together for sure. It's all intentional and awesome. So let's go to the video. We will talk about the weird swirl that I do. I don't know the name of it. I call it 3 different things. It's all different names for the same thing. You don't know. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. We are ending the year with the way I end every year on or off the YouTube's things. And that is called making a massive amount of Tyler Durden soaps. Really? Because I always make a massive amount of Tyler Durden soaps. Always. It's a staple in my line. The OG Sudsers won't let me discontinue it. I wouldn't if I wanted to. But 2, during the holiday season, they sell out. They sell out. They literally sell out. I cannot keep up with it. And so I make thousands of them. And when they're gone, they're gone. And then I give myself like a week or so of just a Tyler Durden free existence. before I settle down to, make thousands more. So we are not making thousands today. This is just a 24 bar batch. It's just a little one. It's easy to film. And we're going to talk about the mantra swirl, which I'm not even 100% sure this is, actually. It could be a mantra. It could be a lotus. It could be a Taiwan. I'm not sure. Like, I really don't know what this is. What I do know is that this is a really cool way to do really pretty mantra or Taiwan or lotus blossom swirls without a divider. And I am pretty sure this is a mantra. And I'm looking at pictures right now, and I'm not going to put an asset on the screen to show you what I'm looking at. But I looked up the mantra swirl, and the way that I use the skewer is different than the first thing that came up, for sure. But it looks the same. But then also I looked up Taiwan swirl, and it also looks the same. And that skewering action may be a little bit different. And a circling Taiwan is effectively a lotus blossom. So Taiwan and lotus blossom are the same, but as far as I can tell, a mantra is also the same thing. And in all of these tutorials and pictures and all the things that you find online, everybody's going to want you to, put in dividers. And I don't do that. I have not used a divider for a mantra swirl, a Taiwan, a lotus, anything, unless required to. Like if we were doing one of the weird Amy Warden soap challenge things, and I wanted to stick to the actual brief and do it the way that it was taught for purposes of the challenge, I guess then I think I maybe got out dividers. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I still didn't in that case. Maybe I did. But point is, I don't use dividers for the mantra swirl or the Taiwan swirl or the lotus swirl or just these weird swirls wherein you cut the bar in weird ways to release the pattern. And also to that, this is another reason why mantra, Taiwan, lotus, they're all basically the same thing because it requires a different cut. You are pouring this into a log mold, but you are building this design in such a way that it requires you to cut the bars horizontally instead of vertically. So normally you just take this to your cutter and you slice, 24 bars down, right, into their 1-inch little chunks or whatever, and reveal the pattern from bar to bar. You slice them vertically. With this, you slice it horizontally, thus the pattern. Okay, so for the pour of this guy, which is a cinnamon and black pepper with the activated charcoal for the black portion and a pepperberry for the white portion. And the red also has a little bit of scent in it, but I don't want it to discolor too terribly much. And cinnamon and black pepper will discolor for sure. And as far as where you can get something called cinnamon and black pepper, I don't know. I've never actually come across it. This is a custom blend that I do with a few different fragrance oils that I call cinnamon and black pepper. The cinnamon itself, I want to say it's something like cinnamon something. I have no idea. From Nature's Garden. And it's only used at, I don't know, I think 8% of the total fragrance oil blend. So not 8% that I put into the soap. I'm not putting in 8% of a cinnamon. It's not what I said. The total fragrance blend is the cinnamon. And then we've got some black pepper notes, which actually is kind of the black pepper bergamot from Maple Street, I want to say. And anyway, so you just saw me do the thing. So I poured, and again, this was hard to do, weirdly, because I feel like I've done this on the channel before. But I just pour kind of equally the black and the white down the sides until it's all in the mold. And then I take the red and I pour it very high right down the middle of the bar. And do that thing. So look, there you go, mantra swirl. You saw the movement that I just made with my skewer. I don't think it's the right movement for the mantra swirl. I think you're supposed to do figure eights, and I don't know that I did that. Did I do that? I don't know. Every time I do this different. It's either going, you know, from side to side and just making sort of like an S curve down the length of the mold, or it's a figure eight down the length of the mold. I do it different every time, and every time it turns out the same. So, you know, don't know that the skewering really matters too terribly much. Even though I'm pretty sure the last time I did the Tyler Durden, I did point out that I'd done it the wrong way. And then I pointed out that it didn't matter as well. I'm not sure. That was a really long time ago, guys. I think we were still on like the double digits of year 1 when I made the Tyler Durden. That may have been like day 9, actually, now that I think about it. My God, I have no idea. Anyway, this does get C-popped and gelled, and I am just figure eight swirling just the top there. Just the top, just the first like millimeter, just to run that red through. It will get C-popped and gelled, and let's show you how to cut this guy. Okay, and on to the cut, and again, this has been C-popped and gelled, and we've got a white side, we've got a black side, we've got some red in the middle. Now, I'm going to take out my tape measure and chunk this out into 3-inch sections, because that's the typical kind of height of a soap bar, right? And also, that's how you divide 24 into 8 sections equally. It's 3 inches. And with each of those sections, I am going to just take a kitchen knife and cut that out. You can use your single bar cutter, single wire cutter for this as well. I use a kitchen knife, whatever. And I will then, after everything has been chunked out, I will take these chunks to my proper, multi-cutter and run them through, but I will put them in the cutter in such a way that allows me to cut them horizontally instead of vertically. So the top will be removed from that chunk of soap, and the bottom will be removed from that chunk of soap, and then the middle will be its own, soap on its own. You'll if you don't understand it, you'll get it once we go to the actual thing. But that's why you have to cut it a different way. Because all those little swirly swirls that I did in there, I mean, that's cool. It kind of looks like a heart. It's interesting. But there was no point to me doing those swirly swirls in there unless I cut it a different way. Because that's what all of the bars would look like if you were just cutting them vertically, from the top down, with the loaf looking the way it does when it comes out of the mold. And so, again, what you do is you set it on its side to cut it horizontally. So you get 3 bars from each of those sections, doing it this way. And they all have very cool patterns on them. And like a lotus blossom or like a Taiwan, a pattern lines up and it forms something there, right? So that is the makings of a lotus blossom. If you wanted a bigger lotus, what you would do would be to continue to run the perimeter of the mold with your skewer over and over again. I usually do it like anywhere between 12 and 40 times, just depending on how quickly I get bored. So usually 12. And it will continue to drag those colors around and around and around, forming more of a blossom, like a flower, like a lotus, right? But with that, I just ran the perimeter a couple times, and isn't that just a lovely little swirl? Again, it's not a mantra, it's not a Taiwan, it's not a lotus. Maybe it's a Shantine swirl. I don't want anything named after me. I rarely say my name on the channel. I like to keep it that way, so maybe it's a Mrs. Soap and Clay swirl. It's a stupid name too. It's a long name, isn't it? It's a swirl. It is a skewered swirl that, again, requires you to cut the bar to manipulate your log into different things. So that's cool. That looks like a bug of some sort. It's on the tip of my tongue what that looked like, what kind of bug. And that kind of looks like half a heart there. That was kind of cool. But yeah, it doesn't matter how many colors you have. I've shown you For Your Skin Only, I think, a few times. And that is a 5-color bar for me. The bulk of it is white, which goes in. And then I just put, oh, that's gorgeous. And then I just put the 4 colors, the 4 accent colors, just one over the top of each other, pouring high down the length of the mold, down the middle of the mold, until all of that soap batter that I've divided out is gone. That looked like a cute little Valentine's Day heart. And then doing the skewering thing and cut it the same way, and I still get this cool design without having to mess with dividers, which I haven't really talked about or bitched about a lot in year 2 because I really haven't done any divider work, but I did a fair amount of divider work in year 1, I think by nature of doing the Amy Warden soap challenges, and I bitched about it every time because dividers are such a pain in the butt to use. No matter how cool of dividers you have made or thought of or whatever, they're still dirty and they're still soap waste. And it's just one more thing to clean up. And I'm not a fan of having one more thing to clean up. So, there's that. But this is a good way to make awesome swirls without having to get out the dividers or clean the dividers or do anything with dividers. And I love that. And I love the Tyler Durden. Again, this has been in my line since the beginning of my company. I was telling my guy friends that I was making soap, a soap company, and like 20 of them hit back with, what, like Fight Club? Like Tyler Durden? And I was like, yeah, actually. And because 20 of my guy friends said that, I knew that that was a good market and a good name for a soap because men would find that humorous and funny and want to soap with a bar called the Tyler Durden. And that's also why the rest of my line ended up being named around pop culture figures. Like we had the Bro Code, which is a How I Met Your Mother reference. And we had the Burgundy Bar, which was Ron Burgundy from, that movie, Anchorman. And we had Blue Steel from Zoolander. And For Your Skin Only is a play on Bond's For Your Eyes Only or whatever. I forget what that's called. You get it. It's all about, cool men who are legitimately sexy or play sexy characters like Zoolander or Will Ferrell's Anchorman. You get it. Anyway, that's day 210. It's an easy way to do a Mrs. Soap and Clay swirl. Still don't know what it's called. Pretty sure it's a mantra. Sure, let's go with that. And there it is, the Tyler Durden soap. And yeah, a really cool, fun way to do beautiful swirl designs without having to get the dividers out. I hate using the dividers. I have not used dividers except, as I said, in challenges where I specifically was trying to follow the rules in several years. This is how I do all little swirl designs. And again, remember, the cut is what's most important when you are doing your swirls in a log mold. So make sure that you're cutting it horizontally instead of vertically. I mean, obviously you cut it vertically. I cut it vertically first into chunk. You get it. You were there for it. So yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun, and it's nice getting things, restocked because I got cleaned out in December, and so it's time to do that thing and get everything curing and ready to go for, 2022. So double whammy for me, for sure. Tomorrow's a deep dive, I think. I think it's going to be the last deep dive of the year, so definitely if you're interested in that, subscribe, bell, things, yes. For those of you who have subscribed, bells, things, hey, thank you. You guys are amazing. I hope you will enjoy tomorrow's deep dive, the last one of the year. I'm going to go work on the script for that while I listen to some The Cure or whatever it is the goth kids are listening to these days. So I'm out of here for today, but I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.